Welcome to Bend-Veda-Blend series. I'm your host, Tracy Cooley, a soon-to-be graduate from Maharishi International University with a BA in Applied Art and Science and two specializations, Life and Wellness Coaching and Ayurveda. I have over 2 decades of yoga training and meditation, along with Ayurveda scattered throughout. I have trained with many of the great yogis, past and present. I just wanted to give you a little background on me. So let's begin. Hola, ciao, buongiorno, hola, privet, konnichiwa, niho, annyeonghaseyo, maharben, hey, swatida, Xing Chao, Salam, Shalom, Buna, Namaste, and Sabona, which is my favorite way to say hello to everyone. In one word, it holds so much meaning. Sabona isn't just your run of the mill hello, it is Zulu for I see you. But let's be clear, this isn't just I notice your shoes or your hairstyle. Salbona means you are seen in high definition, your talents, your struggles, your hopes, your Spotify playlists, all acknowledged and appreciated. Now that's a handshake for your soul, a declaration that your existence matters and you are valuable. No invisible cloaks here. That's the classic comeback is Nikona, I am here. That seals the deal. It's like saying, yes, you see me, and because you do, I am truly present. In the Zulu culture, this exchange is a mutual validation, a nod to our shared humanity. Turns out that being seen is the ultimate power up for the human spirit. But if you're where I'm from, you're lucky if you get a what's up for a greeting as they pass on by, not even waiting for a response. I wanted to start out this way for many reasons. First, to test my foreign language skills. Even though we are human, we are made of the same five elements: ether, space, air, water, fire, and earth. Yet, we are still quite different. And in just a simple way of greeting each other. In this series, which I am so excited about, I wanted to keep that in the back of your mind. We are all made of the same five great elements, but we are all put together in very different proportions of those elements. That is why we have so many amazing and unique human beings out there. And some of them just need a little guidance along the way. Introduction. This is Begin Within, part of the Bend-Veda-Blend series. We keep yoga simple and kind, roots over performance. Even I need an explanation for that one. Tiny practices that fit into real life and consent-forward choices so everyone has options. Remember, this is educational, not medical advice. To start, we will take 3 easy breaths at 4, at the count of 4 on the inhale, and we'll exhale at the count of 6. And at the end, we'll name a word of now for how we feel. Here is the heart in one breath. Steady mind, kind body. That is our goal. We will use short 60 to 90-second practices where you can repeat anywhere. At your desk, in the kitchen, in a parked car. I'll always offer options before the cues, so you can choose a modification or an amplification, whatever feels good that day. You want to stay in the pain-free range only. If something hurts or feels off, choose a modification or a pause. As the Yoga Sutras puts it, yoga is the stilling of the changing states of the mind, and posture is steady and comfortable. That's the way we'll work together. What is this? This series has 11 mini chapters, each one bite-sized so that you can actually do it. You'll see simple on-screen cues to guide you, a breath clip with the counts, options for amplifications or modifications, and the word of now, so you can check in instead of check out. The structure repeats itself on purpose. Our brains love patterns. The more familiar the pattern, the easier it is to return. Why does this matter? Yoga can feel like a performance test. So let's flip that script together. Lower the pressure. That will help the nervous system settle. And a settled system makes better choices. Safer options to build confidence and consistency. And tidy habits, the kind that fit into a real day, are the ones that really stick. That's what creates momentum. I'm not trying to impress you. I am helping you feel more like yourself more often. The core practice threads. 4 threads run through every chapter. 1, breath. Inhale for 4, exhale for 6. Longer, softer exhales help the body settle. 2, word of now. Name how you feel with one word, no judgment. 3, options A and B. So your body sets the size, not your ego. 4, a tiny habit line. After I, a real cue, I take a tiny action. For example, after I make coffee, I take 3 breaths. These are the threads that make practice portable and repeatable in real life. Chapter 1, the history of yoga. In the next few minutes, we will time travel from ancient chants to modern mats and answer the question, what does yoga actually mean, and what on earth is yoking? Let's honor the roots in plain words. In Sanskrit, yoga comes from the root word yuj, Y-U-J, which means to yoke, to join, or to unite. I thought this was interesting. Yoga can also be described as team or pairing. This totally makes sense when you think about what yoga is meant to do, bringing glorious alignment to our mind, body, and spirit. This means that every essential part of us is working together in perfect harmony. Yoga is not just about balance or looking like you are auditioning for Cirque du Soleil. This is about showing up fully yourself. No inner friction or mixed signals. It's about transforming the messy rhythms of life into harmony. I always told students in the classes that I taught that I could tell how they were on their mat was how they were in their lives. Asanas, or postures, are only one part of 8 limbs of yoga. In the West, somehow, we have equated the word yoga with only one part of this amazing ancient science. Chapter 2: The 3-Breath Reset. When the day gets loud or too chaotic, there is one thing that we often forget to do. Do you know what that one thing is? I guessed all sorts of different things, but I would have never have guessed this one. Breathe. It seems so simple, right? And we need to breathe to live. But that is the first thing that seems to go out the window when we get stressed or frustrated. When I was in one of my yoga teacher trainings, and the facilitator had a giant post-it note on the wall, and on this post-it note had emotions in blue with breath on one side, and the emotions you experience in red on the other side without breath. She gave an example of a roller coaster she went on when she was a kid, screaming and hollering, just so excited to get to go on this roller coaster. She said she could barely wait to get in line to go again. The next example she gave was getting to take her nephew on the same roller coaster, and he was about the same age she was. When she got to go on her first roller coaster ride, she thought it would be so amazing, and what a great experience for both of them to share. But things didn't turn out quite as she had expected. Her nephew had a blast, but she had somehow, in 30 years since she had been on her last roller coaster ride, had grown up or had become afraid of roller coasters. Who knows? As yoga teachers, we do know what happened. She forgot to breathe, and after the ride, she threw up and was mortified. What does this have to do with yoga? You might be wondering. To breathe or not to breathe? When was the last time you paid attention to your breath and your emotions? Here is a picture of the actual post-it note I took from that training. I will read it to you. The emotions with breath, which is in and in blues, and without breath is out and in red. So with breath is excitement, without breath is fear. With breath is joy, without breath is depression. With breath is focus, without breath is anger. With breath is flow, without breath is anxiety. With breath is bliss, without breath, frustration. With breath is transformation, without breath is confusion. Now, here is a little yogi trick that can help you. A 1-minute reset that doesn't demand a mat or a mood. Sit or stand tall, soften your jaw, let your shoulders drop just a little, and we will do 3 rounds. Inhale for 4, exhale for 6. All of this is inhaling and exhaling through your nose. A slightly longer exhale helps your system settle without drama. The trick is making it real in your day. I will count for you so you don't have to worry about anything, okay? You'll inhale and exhale through your nose unless you're congested. Then breathe any way you can and have some tissues standing by just in case. 3 rounds means a full inhale and a full exhale. That is 1 round. Got it? Here we go. Inhale through your nose. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale through your nose for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You got 1 done. Inhale through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale through your nose. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. How do you feel? If you can describe it in one great word, write it down somewhere. And know that you can come back to this feeling very simply by breathing. And you can do it anywhere. And it's free. A great idea I learned in one of my other classes at MIU is habit stacking. Add it to something you already do. After I make my coffee, I take 3 breaths. That's it. Completion is a calmer state than a perfect shape. If you feel even a notch steadier, it worked. Chapter 3, The 8 Limbs of Yoga. Yoga is so much bigger than poses. Think of 8 friendly lenses to see and live your life through. The 8 limbs of yoga, also called Ashtanga. Ashta means 8, and Anga means limbs. Makes sense as Patanjali, a great sage, named them the 8 limbs of yoga, which serve as guidelines for living a meaningful and purposeful life. Today we will keep it simple and choose from 4: kindness, breath, focus, or calm. There's no prize for doing all of them at once. Pick one lens, spend a minute there, and then notice your word of now, before, and after. Small and genuine beats big and brittle every time. The 8 limbs of yoga. The first limb we will start with is yama, how not to be a jerk. Ethics for every day. Do less harm, tell the truth, take only what's yours, use your energy wisely, and do not hoard. A tiny practice. Before you hit send, ask, is it true, kind, and necessary? The second limb is niyama, your inner housekeeping, personal habits that build steadiness, cleanliness, contentment, discipline, self-study, and devotion to something bigger than your to-do list. A tiny practice. After you brush your teeth, name one thing you're grateful for. The third limb is asana, postures that teach you how to live in your body. Not a contortion contest. It's alignment plus attention so your nervous system can exhale. A tiny practice. 1 shape, 5 breaths. Soft jaw, ego softer. Now we're up to the 4th limb, which is pranayama, breath with benefits. Steering the breath to steady the mind. Think of this as a remote for your mood. A tiny practice. After you sit down to work, 3 slow exhales longer than your inhales. Here is the 5th limb of yoga, pratyahara, sensory sabbatical. Turning the volume down on the world so that you can hear yourself think. A tiny practice. 1 minute, eyes closed, phone face down. Notice, don't judge. The 6th limb on your yoga tree is dharana, laser focus, no caffeine required. Placing attention on one thing and keeping it there as it matters, because it does. A tiny practice. Pick a single anchor. Breath, mantra, a sensation. Do this for 60 seconds. Limb number 7 is dhyana, focus that becomes flow. When attention stops wobbling and awareness feels wide, soft, and continuous. A tiny practice. Let your 60 seconds stretch itself. If you forget you're doing it, you're close. The 8th and final limb, but that does not mean you have to do them in this order, because you don't. They all grow simultaneously. Is samadhi, clear, quiet, connected, not fireworks. More like the moment the water goes still and you can finally see the bottom. A tiny practice? Don't force this one. Keep doing the other 7, and this one tends to arrive unannounced. Chapter 4, Posture Basics. When we practice the asana part of yoga, we link breath with movement. I like to think of this part of yoga as a moving meditation. So on an inhale, we lengthen or get taller, especially the spine, even if it's only in your imagination. Then as we exhale, we soften or move. So this could be a twist, a fold, a step forward or back, a transition to another posture, or even in our imagination. It all depends on our capabilities and at that moment, or on what we are doing. Are we in a grocery line or in a yoga class? In my many years of teaching and training, there are a few things that have always stuck out. Our spine is always as naturally straight as it should be. Second, our hips and shoulders should not be wonky if possible. Thirdly, active hands and active feet. Active hands are when our fingers are spread as far apart as they can be. This electrifies your whole arm so your shoulders do not have to take the brunt of the work. Active feet are like magic in so many ways. For some, this is very hard. Let's do an experiment right now, okay? Everyone stand up. Get out of your chairs. Just for a few seconds. This won't take long, I promise. Now that I have you all standing, all I want you to do, whether you have shoes on or not, oh wait, I take that back. If you have heels on, you can take them off just for a few seconds, please. Okay, now that you are all standing, all I need you to do is lift your toes off the ground. Not the balls of your feet too, just your toes. Did you feel how your whole body shifted back? Now slightly soften your knees, and if you can, spread your toes as wide apart as you can. If you can't, don't worry about it. Those poor piggies have been stuck in those shoes for years. Active feet have saved so many of my training clients with bad knees, sore lower backs, and many other problems. It's so simple. Just lift your toes up, shoes or no shoes. Just not in heels. I don't want you to fall over. Chapter 5: Attention and Ethics. Most yoga classes skip the ethics, not on purpose. We all get excited about the flowy shapes, quiet minds, but end up leaving out the core part of the practice. Yoga is a road to a clearer, kinder awareness. It helps to look at the whole map Patanjali laid out. 8 simple steps. The first 2 are the be a good human basics to shape everything else. Yamas and niyamas. Yamas and niyamas, the friendly guardrails. Yamas, how we relate to others. Nonviolence, truth, non-stealing, wise use of energy and non-grasping. Niyamas, how we relate to ourselves. Cleanliness, contentment, steady effort, self-study, and devotion or surrender to something greater. A beginner tip: your brain will sometimes try to bargain. Use contrary thinking. When you feel a tug to bend the truth, pause and picture the ripple effect. Choose the truer line, even if it's mildly uncomfortable for now. That's how these values turn into habits that hold under pressure. Off the mat matters. Want the deeper benefits of yoga? Steadier attention, kinder choices, a felt sensation of I'm okay here? These 2 steps are the on-ramp as you practice any one limb, even if it's just asana. It nudges the rest. But ethics is the glue that makes the gains stick in your body, in your relationships, in your day. What teachers notice all the time: students who weave yamas and niyamas into their daily life become more humane with themselves and others. Emotions regulate, conflicts soften, the whole person shows up. What early research suggests: practicing yamas, niyamas is linked to better emotional regulation, clearer focus, and fewer stuck feelings in the system. Think of smoother energy and less static. Students using these basics often shift towards more sattvic or balanced compassion outlook. Useful in a world that's a bit hot and bothered. A great place to start: college-age humans under stress. Simple, real-life ethic tools help during big life changes, new schedules, new people, new pressures. 2 easy ways to practice today. A micro pledge: pick 1 yama and 1 niyama for the week. Write them down somewhere where you'll see. A tiny rescue: when you feel pulled off course, do 1 breath and 1 contrary thought. Then take the smallest matching action. Send an honest email and put the thing back. Skip the snark. Conclusion: the ethics can be who am I becoming? That's a virtue. Or what's my duty here? That's a responsibility. In real life, we blend them. Name your values, act upon them, and repeat. Your behavior shapes the day, and your day shapes your life. Yamas and niyamas are universal on purpose. They anchor emotional steadiness, improve how we relate inside and out, and grow the kind of peace that spills beyond the mat. To people, creatures, and the planet, teach them early, use them often, and keep them friendly. We'll come back to them again and again and again, each time a little steadier and a little kinder. Chapter 6, Ayurveda. Treat Ayurveda like body weather. Some days feel buzzy and scattered. That's a Vata feel, space and air. Some days are hot and driven. That's Pitta, water and fire. Some days are heavy and slow. That's a Kapha feel, water and earth. We are all made of the same elements: space, air, fire, water, and earth, just in different proportions. That is what that is what makes us all unique and special. You don't need a diagnosis to use this. Match one tiny choice to the day you feel. The rhythm helps keep the most. Get morning light in your eyes, eat regular meals, the largest meal when the sun is at its brightest. Add gentle movement and keep it simple, and keep a simple wind down before going to bed. No electronics at least 30 minutes before bed, if not longer. Try to eat at least 3 hours before bed so your body does not have to digest your food and it can focus on its other duties while you sleep. We are not as good at multitasking as we think we are. One change is enough to shift the feel of your whole day. Chapter 7, Vata. Calm the buzz. When I feel buzzy, I go warm, slow, and steady. Breathe 4 breaths in. I lied about that. Inhale for a count of 4. Exhale for a count of 6. Just for a few rounds. Maybe add a tiny cow and cat, small arches at a smooth pace. Rest your hands on your belly for some warmth and wait. And then choose one rhythmic cue: a warm sip, a regular mealtime, or a short outdoor walk. We aren't chasing quiet. We are inviting it in gently. Vata governs transportation, communication, and movement. An easy way to remember, although not quite accurate, is everything below your belly button. The gunas, or qualities of Vata, are dry, light, cold, rough, subtle, mobile, erratic, and clear. Quick balancing cues. Add warm, moist, grounding, and steady things into your life. Favor sweet, sour, salty tastes. But I do not mean live on chips and ice cream. More of the natural sweets like fruit, ripe mangoes, ripe bananas, ripe pears, persimmons, papaya, cantaloupe, honeydew melons, dates, figs, sweet apples like Fuji and Gala, the sweet variety of grapes and coconuts. For sour fruits, you can choose pineapple, orange, and most citrus like lemons, limes, and grapefruit. Green apples tend to be more tart. Kiwi, pomegranate can be sweet tart, often lean sour. Tamarind, berries when tart, cranberries, underripe raspberries or blackberries. Taste shift with ripeness and variety. Riper generally equals sweeter, less sour. For digestion, flavor one fruit at a time rather than a mixed bowl of fruit. Salty foods for vata, a little salt can be grounding, but balance it with warm, moist food. Mineral salts, sea salt, rock salt, Himalayan pink salt. Sea vegetables such as nori, dulse, kelp, wakame. Brined items, olives, botanically a fruit. Capers, pickles. Cheeses such as feta, halloumi, aged cheeses, salted nuts and seeds. Mineral waters with a higher sodium content. Here's something to note is most fresh fruits are not salty. Olives are the main fruit, but due to the salty profile, but with the salty profile due to brining. And don't forget that all meals should have all the six tastes in them: sweet, sour, salty, pungent, bitter, and astringent. Chapter 8. Pitta, cool the heat. When I am hot or push too hard, I choose space over speed. First, soften the eyes, the jaw, the shoulders, and then lengthen the exhale a little. Nothing forceful. This is optional. Add a little gentle micro twist side to side, like you're unscrewing a tight jar slowly. You can do this anywhere, seated, standing, or even lying down. No excuses. Success here is less pressure inside, not a bigger pose outside. Pitta rules or governs over transformation, digestion, and metabolism. An easy way to remember, but not accurate. Everything from your belly button to your heart. The gunas or qualities of pitta are hot, sharp, penetrating, light, oily, unctuous, liquid, flowing, and spreading, diffusive. Some quick balancing cues. Favor cool, calm, steady, and the tastes sweet, bitter, and astringent. Stay out of heated situations. Pitta should favor cool to lukewarm, moist and mild over hot and spicy. And here are some pitta foods. Sweet, the grains would be white rice, basmati, oats, quinoa, and wheat. Dairy would be milk, ghee, fresh paneer, mild yogurt, like diluted lassi, but not sour. Legumes, mung beans, red lentils. Vegetables for pitta are the sweeter types, such as sweet potatoes, carrots, zucchini, asparagus, green beans, and cucumbers. Fruits for pitta are ripe and sweet, such as mangoes, pears, melons, ripe bananas, sweet apples, dates, figs, and coconuts. The nuts and seeds for pitta: soaked almonds, pumpkin seeds, and sunflower seeds. The bitter tastes for pitta are the greens would be kale, collards, dandelion, arugula, mustard greens, beet greens. Vegetables for pitta: bitter melon, asparagus, broccoli rabi. Spices for pitta: turmeric, cilantro, parsley, saffron, neem, which is very bitter, use gently. Beverages for pitta would be mild peppermint or chamomile tea. Astringent: legumes for pitta: lentils, chickpeas, mung dal, and split peas. Fruits that are astringent for pitta: pomegranate, cranberry, underripe bananas, pear skins. Persimmons that are firm. Vegetables that are astringent for pitta: okra, artichoke, broccoli, cauliflower, and asparagus. Astringent grains for pitta: millet, quinoa, buckwheat. Astringent herbs and spices for pitta would be turmeric, coriander, fennel, green tea that is light. Some notes for pitta: to avoid or minimize pungent, sour, and salty, very hot, fermented, and alcohol-heavy items. Favor cooling spices such as coriander, fennel, cardamom, mint, turmeric, and small cumin. Sorry, let me say that over. Favoring cool spices: coriander, fennel, cardamom, mint, turmeric, and small amounts of cumin. Go easy on chili, garlic, and mustard seeds. Temperature matters. Room temperature or slightly warm beets icy cold or steaming hot pitta for pitta balance. Chapter 9: Kapha qualities and energizing practices. Kapha is the body's stability system. Imagine honey and clay together. Honey is smooth and soothing, and clay is solid and holds its shape. That is kapha: moisture, cushion, and structure. So you feel. Kapha qualities are cool and heavy, slow but steady, smooth and slightly oily. In daily life, a balanced kapha manifests as patient, a steady mood, a good stamina. Digestion is smooth, appetite is regular, and recovery is strong. When kapha builds up, it can feel like morning grogginess, resistance to getting started, water retention or congestion, and cravings for heavy foods, sweet comfort foods. Emotionally, it can look like procrastination or feeling stuck. Here is a self-check. Here is a simple self-check. Do I feel calm and steady or heavy and slow? Calm and steady means kapha is helping. Heavy and slow means we lighten it a bit. The antidotes are gentle warmth and light rhythm. Short, lively bursts of movement that you can repeat throughout the day. Warmer layers, warm showers, and warm drinks. Lighter meals with plenty of colorful vegetables and spices like ginger, black pepper, coriander, turmeric. An early wake-up time and regular daily rhythms. Just as important is what to dial down for a while. Daytime naps, heavy or cold, late night meals, oversleeping, and long, low effort workouts that never raise your heart rate. Everyone has all three doshas: vata, pitta, and kapha. Kapha is not a problem It's your reserve tank for growth, recovery, and calm. We simply keep it moving so it does not get stuck. Kapha governs stability, structure, and lubrication. The gunas or qualities of kapha are heavy, slow, dull, cool, oily, unctuous, smooth, dense, soft, stable, static, sticky, slimy, and gross. Quick balancing cues. Favor light, warm, dry, and the tastes pungent, bitter, and astringent. Go easy on heavy, cold, very sweet, and dairy forward dishes when feeling sluggish. The foods for kapha, the pungent ones that are warm and drying, spices like ginger, black pepper, long pepper, cayenne, chili flakes, mustard seed, cumin, coriander, fenugreek, almonds, al- onions, garlic, scallions, leeks, herbs, oregano, thyme, rosemary, basil, and mint. Condiments would be mustard, horseradish, wasabi, kimchi, and hot salsa. Bitter for lightening and decongesting for kapha. The greens would be kale, arugula, dandelion, mustard greens, collards, green beans. Vegetables are bitter melon, broccoli rabi, Brussels sprouts, cabbage. Herbs and teas, neem, fenugreek leaves, turmeric, and green tea. Astringent, which is drying and toning. The legumes, lentils, chickpeas, mung beans, black beans, grains and seeds, quinoa, barley, buckwheat, millet. Fruits for kapha, pomegranate, cranberries, pears, and apples. The vegetables, artichokes, asparagus, green beans, okra. Teas, black tea, and green tea. Flavor warm, spiced, lighter meals. Cook greens with warming spices and a squeeze of lemon. Rotate lentils or chickpea soup with ginger, cumin, and black pepper. Go easy on heavy, cold, very sweet, and dairy forward dishes when feeling sluggish. Chapter 10, Dinacharya. Dinacharya means daily routine. In Sanskrit, dina means day, and charya means conduct or practice. Plainly, a daily routine. What is a daily practice? A tiny action you repeat at the same cue each day so your body and mind settle into a steady rhythm. After a simple line is after I, real cue, I, tiny action, for about 60 seconds. This approach, this tiny habit approach, makes change stick because it's specific, small, and anchored to something you already do. Here's the key: you already have a routine. You wake up, you shower, you brush your teeth, you make coffee or tea, you get dressed. Maybe you do your hair and your makeup, or you shave. Maybe all three. You commute, you sit down at your desk. We're not adding pressure, we're upgrading. Just one small thing. that you already do to make your day run smoother, calmer, healthier. Consistent daily rhythms support steadier mood, energy, sleep, and follow through. Pick one cue you already have and choose a tiny upgrade. Wake up, soft or jaw soft, 3 easy breaths. Shower. Let the warm water hit the upper shoulders for 30 seconds with a slow exhale. Brush your teeth, stand tall, soften your shoulders. 3 rounds of a 4 in, 6 out breath. Coffee or tea. 1 slow breath before the first sip. Get dressed. Feet even, knees soft. Inhale gently. Lengthen the exhale softly. Makeup, hair, shave, release the jaw. 1 brow once each minute. First desk sit, 2 chair squats, or a 30 seconds of heel rocks with even 4 in, 4 out breath. Let's write yours. After I, real cue, I, tiny action, for about 60 seconds. Keep it small so it fits a real day. And now, place 1 reminder at the cue, a sticky note, a phone alarm named with your line, or a calendar ping. Consistency at the same cue builds a routine faster. Safety and consent, pain-free range. The most miniature version at first. If you're unsure, choose the smallest. Remember, this is education, not medical advice. Dinacharya is the art of tiny rituals on repeat at set times until your nervous system finally believes that you're safe. Too close to notice? 1 word for now, how you feel right now. If you feel even a touch steadier, that's a win. Tomorrow, same cue, same place, same sequence. Chapter 11, Yoga and Ayurveda intertwine. Yoga plus Ayurveda, a friendly duo. Welcome, friends. Today we'll see how yoga and Ayurveda work together like 2 good guides. Yoga helps us steady the mind and move kindly. Ayurveda helps us match daily choices to our body weather so things feel smoother, small and simple, educational, not medical advice. You're in charge of your range. What yoga is. Yoga is about settling the mind and moving in a way that feels steady and comfortable, not performing shapes. What Ayurveda is. Think of Ayurveda as body weather. Some days feel buzzy, remember Vata. Some feel hot and intense, that's Pitta. Some feel slow and heavy, that's Kapha. Notice the weather, then pick 1 tiny choice that fits the day. How they intertwine. Yoga gives us the practice to steady and focus. Ayurveda gives us the timing and tiny adjustments that make those practices land. Together, they do small things at a good time in a good way for your body today. Safety and consent, pain-free range, options before cues. You can always choose the smallest version anytime. You know your body best. Always choose what's best for your body. Chapter 11, our mini demos. Everyone, try 1 minute with me. Sit down, sit or stand tall. Soften your jaw. You have options. If you feel buzzy, which is an inhale, or which is a vata. Inhale for 4, exhale for 6, and do 3 rounds. Slow and warm. If you're feeling hot and pressured, which is pitta, soften your eyes. Exhale, lengthen your exhale. A little round. For 3. If you feel stuck and heavy, that's kapha. Even 4 inhales and 4 exhales. You can even add a gentle heel rock for about 30 to 67 seconds. Notice how that felt. And here's a mini demo 2. We'll add micro move choices. You have option A. You can do 2 chair squats or cow cats or a 60-second posture check. Inhale and lengthen, exhale and soften. Option B is a 60-second brisk hallway walk or a gentle side-to-side twist. Pick one, small, friendly. Completion is a better touch than perfection. The question and answer time. What body weather shows up for you the most? Buzzy, hot, or heavy? Which anchor feels easiest this week? Light, meals, move, or wind down? What's your one-liner for tomorrow? I just want to thank everyone for taking the time out of your busy day to watch this second draft of my presentation. I have so much appreciation for your time and patience with all of this. Much love to all of you. Tracy. And here are all of my references for this presentation today.